Europe at the moment. He will certainly do a great job, and Swifty in the mid lane as well will be absolutely fantastic. So we'll see how we go in today's first match. Already into the picks and bans. So we'll see what our first ban is here. Direwolves on the order side, so they are first pick, first ban. What do you expect here, Moose?
I'm expecting an Osiris ban. Now that Bologna's kind of taken a little bit of a hit, I think she'll still be played, but Osiris is so strong now in that solo lane, real lane bully as he's always been, but carries that through to the mid and late game now as well. So I'm expecting Osiris to be taken off the table, maybe not by Direwolves themselves, but probably by Kanga. But Direwolves looks like they've banned away Ravana here, so another strong bully early game that carries forward, and then we've got Kanga taking away Kronos on the other side.
Yeah, so Ravana, I think, is one of Ro's favorite jungles, or maybe not favorite, but strongest ones, the one that he popularized against NRG. Some people doubted it, but obviously he did well with it, and then everyone jumped on that hype train. So
that's it. Raven's made it his way into the meta and hasn't left any time.
Yeah. All right, so we've got a soul ban next. So interesting that it's coming from the Direwolves, because Ochita plays that they're kind of banning themselves, or just worried that maybe Kanga have something up their sleeves with those picks.
Certainly, the magical mid laners that have got that ability to have the potency with that magical augmented basic attack are very strong at the moment, with things like Shogun's Kasuri being in the meta. It just brings so much more to the table from your mid lane. Not only do you have the burst damage that they bring with their abilities, but also the ability to shred with their basic attacks as well. So smart bans on both sides, but Cheetah's Morrigan's got through and they first picked that one.
Yeah.
That's a scary proposition right there.
That certainly is, because obviously you got huge amounts of damage, you got a stun and a stealth on just the Morrigan, and then you can double up on any other pick that you've got on your own team, and then turn into anyone that the enemy has turned into, has picked there as well. So they went for the Osiris ban, Kanga, but then Direwolves, they didn't ban anyone strong because they wanted to leave it open for themselves. And that's exactly what we've seen the fruits already.
Yeah, smart ban phase there from both sides really, but the Morrigan is a very scary proposition, as you said. We've got Erling Shen here for Kanga Esports. So Erling, now that Bologna's kind of off the table, Erling finds himself in a bit of a better place in the solo lane, so should be able to do pretty decent work there. Doesn't really lose lane too frequently unless he's against an Osiris.
Yeah.
And then you've got Nemesis as well, so taking that one away from Ro, I guess, but Camazots and Kepri locked in for Direwolves. And then we've got
do you
Raijin.
see that?
Raijin playing on LAN after his buffs.
Buffs.
Yeah, some calling it a heavy nerf to Raijin. Interesting to see Kanga's been practicing this one, I guess, and picking it as a pocket pick in the first game of the series to see if they can sneak it in against Direwolves.
Okay, so we'll see how this one goes. Arguably the weakest gold in the game right now. We are currently on the patch before the increase in his stats from patch notes on Thursday or Wednesday, was it?
This week.
This week sometime, yeah. So we're still on the weaker version. So strange that they picked it. Hopefully it will work with the rest of the team comp that's still to come. They need an ADC and a support, but they've got their whole mid and fire side of the map picked out. So
yeah, it's just the duo lane left to be picked. So we'll see what they choose to ban away here to protect this Raijin, because the issue with Raijin is his early clear is so weak because it's going to be body blocked in the wave currently before this new patch goes through, which reverts those changes. But it's in such a rough spot at the moment, but any god can be played in Smite, and that's the beauty of it, and it's good to see something different brought out straight away at LAN. So
yeah, I was
excited to see what they bring with it.
Same. I was kind of hoping that we'd see a Raijin, but first game, yeah, maybe that's the best time to play it, because if you play it later in the tournament, there's more at risk. So because each match today is a best of 3, so why not pull it out in the first game where you've still got that chance if you lose the second game, you can come back through the losers bracket. So
yeah, so you got that double bite of the cherry with the double elimination. So you know, if you're going to try something out janky, throw it in against Direwolves game 1. See if we can sneak it through, and why not? And we're moving to the second banning phase though. We've got Ganesh taken off the board. Very strong support at the moment, especially Direwolves already have Kepri, one of their preferred supports, and so might as well take off the objective control that Ganesh brings is just insane. So take that off the board. Take Toth away as well in the mid lane. Although they already had their mid pick, so unless Rajan's going somewhere else.
Can it? Solo? Maybe? Although it's more likely to be body blocked from a warrior.
Yeah,
and
it's a bit of an odd band. Maybe Dial's just got a plan there, and they're not going to fall for the Rajan jank pick.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, so what's left here for the Direwolves? They need a solo laner, unless they go Camazot solo, and they need a jungler. Sorry, a hunter.
Yeah, even the Morrigan can go into solo lane if you build her the right way. She can do quite a decent amount of work in that lane as well. So somewhat flex pick there as well. But you've got Summer Kong and Sobek taken away here. So they're targeting towards that solo lane, not wanting to deal with the solo back, sitting in lane and being a pest towards the late game.
Yeah.
Looks like we've got a Vulcan pick here for Kanga. So where is this Rajan going then?
It won't be jungle, right? That's not a thing.
Got a Nemesis.
Yeah. Support?
Support Rajan? That could work, actually.
Would it?
He's got setup. He's got CC immunity. He's got a Mez.
Is his slow still there? No, it's got the taunt, taunt and fear, yeah, so. And a bit of damage. Rajan support, I'm excited for this. I want this. I want this to happen. It'll be fun. It'll be a fun time here in the first game of the CGPL
Could bring
land
a bit of
finals.
Chaos, and I'm always down with that.
Yeah,
so.
dude, always. All right, so Bologna, solo laner.
Bit more standard picks here on the side of Direwolves.
Yeah.
Just kind of running back a lot of things that have worked for them in the past. And
yeah.
Bologna, while taking a little hit, still a strong god. Still not really going to take much away from her kit. It's just a little bit of damage, a little bit of nerf on the cooldowns to the bludgeons. So not going to be too much taken away from her. Still solid clear. Death Toll still very strong on her, and then we've got a Kernanos pick as well, which Mingyu's played to great effect so far this split as well. So strong picks from the side of Direwolves.
So all hunters open at the moment except for Kernanos. Who do you expect here for a pickup for Kanga? Because Ram, maybe?
Ram, always strong on land. People seem to really favour him on land, sorry. I actually expect a Huyi. That's what I'm thinking here. They need some AoE setup, some slows to go along with it. Although they've picked a Geb here, so is it Rajan ADC?
Is that a thing?
I mean,
I don't think that's a thing.
That's off meta.
That certainly is. Oh my word. Okay, this team composition is confusing
really
to say the least.
Rajan.
Yeah. What else could you could do Vulcan ADC? It wouldn't be the first time we see that.
No, I mean Snoopy's brought that out a couple of times over in the SPL, but be a first in OCE, I think. I don't think I've seen a Vulcan ADC over this way. Not in a long time, anyway.
Yeah, it's been at least 2 years since we've seen that, but we will be loading into games shortly. Team composition-wise, how do you feel? Well, I mean, how do you feel about Direwolves compared to Kanga?
I think Direwolves got the stronger draft here. They've got the Morrigan. Achita's Morrigan gets banned away for a reason.
Yeah.
It's incredibly good.
Not much more to say.
You don't want to be on the receiving end of it. Let's just put it that way. You've got a Camazotz to bring a lot of burst damage through the jungle. You've got a Bologna and a Kepri to really control the front line and the back line of Kanga. And then you've got a Kernanos who can just turn everyone into piggies and chase them down. So really strong team fight, but also the ability to just take a player out of the fight at the same time. So really strong comp there. Kanga, they're going to rely on this jank strat. They've got the Geb to protect everyone. They've got the Nemesis to shred the protections, but I just struggle to see where they're going to have the consistent damage from. Nemesis and Erlang Shan is your only two physical damage dealers is going to be really difficult to shred through everyone, even with the Nemesis ult.
Could it be Rajan solo with Erlang ADC?
I don't think so.
No?
No, I couldn't see that happening. Just Erlang strong in lane, but not the kind of warrior that you would put up against a hunter in that lane and leave him alone.
Isn't his clear quite good though with the third proc? It's
good
AOE.
clear. His clear is very good, yes, but he's going to take free poke.
That is also true.
That's my issue. Against a Hunter, nothing is more frustrating for a solo laner than going against a Hunter in solo lane as a warrior.
Okay,
You cop so much poke and you're unable to just stand in the wave and use, especially a Death Toll warrior like Erling Shan, where you're using that proc to sustain. You don't have any self-healing other than your ultimate. And you just forced to back so frequently. And with the nerfs to teleport, where you can't teleport to a ward until you upgrade
that's a huge thing.
Swiftwing is likely to come into the meta today.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of people pick that up, depending on their gods. And even forsaking that active altogether, just because it's 1,000 gold, just to be able to teleport and have that impact in team fights early.
To a tower, right? It's only 2 towers now.
Yeah.
Which
500 gold.
Is a big deal, because if you're losing those first tier 1 towers, then you can't go and help that lane. You have to teleport to the tier 2 tower, and in which case you might as well rotate fully into the middle of the lane, or get that flank around the back if they're pushing up.
The teleport time is what, 5 seconds now? So if you're coming out of base and you have a Swiftwing, you can probably get to your tier 2 with a movement ability into It's
interesting because like teleport was such a huge deal, and I think it is it's a good active. It's just Swiftwing is so strong now because it gives you that health, that HP 5, the movement speed, right? So as you explained, like you might as well get the Swiftwing so you get more stats. It's not cheap. It's 300 more gold.
It's 800 gold.
Oh,
so it's a starter item.
Yeah. So 300
300 more
difference.
gold than upgrading a teleport.
Yeah.
So I would see the value in picking that up and then picking up a shell for your team, or even a heavenly to really help out in the team fights. Since you're going to be able to not going to be able to rotate in behind the enemy team like you used to be able to a ward, having that team fight second relic, essentially, you normally pick up 1 team fight relic. You're able to pick up a second one, or you can go for a Bracer of Undoing to make yourself a bit more able to survive through all the fighting. But yeah, I really don't see teleport being
useful,
picked up too much. I think the issue with not having teleport, though, is if the other solo laner does pick it up, you might be losing a little bit of farm in the early game. But I think it's the value there in Swiftwing outweighs what little farm you'll lose in the early game, having picked up a no teleport at the start. And having a relic, you could even go for the Bracer immediately, so you've got the ability to surprise someone in a 1v1 situation.
Yeah, just get all your health back and fight them again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what is it, 60% at just base level now. So
yeah, and
really strong relic yet again.
The thing with Swiftwing is it's every time you back, but with teleport, there's a fairly large cooldown, like 3 minutes, right?
Yeah,
roughly.
So 3-minute cooldown. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a big investment in taking up a relic slot. You're not even investing gold into it, but taking up that relic slot now. The strength of a lot of the relics, as we've seen in this mid-season patch, all of the relics are pretty much viable, except for maybe Hand of the Gods.
Yeah, you don't want to pick that up anymore.
Didn't get touched, surprisingly. But everything else now has a benefit to your team in one way or another.
Yeah.
Whether it's damage mitigation or it's a Fatalis effect. Cooldown reduction.
A basic attack block
Exactly.
stack, 2 of them on shell.
Bubble.
Yeah.
So,
jeez.
Having a second shell, you're essentially then able to block 4 basic attacks from the enemy hunter.
And if you have 2 people with that and you use it correctly, you can block 8 basic attacks, and a hunter is absolutely useless.
Yeah, exactly. So you're taking away so much from the enemy team now with relics. So sacrificing one for the sake of being able to get to lane quickly or to get to a fight eventually quickly, I don't think it's worth it in most cases.
Not anymore.
But the other thing I'm interested in is where the hunter builds are going to go, whether it's going to be following on from what's been happening recently where it's kind of personal preference, or will there be like a defined meta set during the LAN. So it's going to be interesting to see who goes with what builds, and each god has their own build, obviously, as well, what's stronger or not. as we head into the first game here, though. So,
all right, guys, thank you for your patience. We did have to remake the lobby, but we have got through. And now we are into the game. All right, so where is this Raijin gone? No Raijin. Okay,
it's
so
Rama. So that makes a bit more sense.
Yeah,
and that would make sense with the buff man as well.
Oh,
okay, so just a spectator glitch there, but
I'm sad. It would have been a lot better
it would have been
to see a
Raijin,
but
we
were baited.
We've been baited. That's okay. So early starts here. We've got Direwolves have picked up their own red buff, whereas we see Kanga have gone straight to Oracles, which is an interesting. Sorry, other way around. The Direwolves have picked up red buff and Oracles. They've invaded the red buff and taken the Oracles away. So already level 2, only missing out on a couple of creeps in that wave.
Wow.
Direwolves already looking strong with their farm game with these recent changes to everything.
Yeah, so the Oracle Harpies and the Fire Elementals, their health was increased, but the XP given was decreased. So it's harder to farm up through just those. But as we see, Direwolves already have their jungle pathing planned. They got both of them, they got the mid camps, and as you said, the red buff invade.
Looking at the builds, the most interesting thing for me is we've got a cheater on the Morrigan who's just gone for a tier 2 Soul Reliquary. So looking to build into Book of Thoth immediately, forsaking a starter item. I do like this start on the Morrigan. I generally go for the tier 2 of Bancroft's talent though, just because it gives you a bit more sustain, it gives you decent power, but obviously going for this stacking item to get himself to a point where he's just going to be one-shotting people with that the Dark Omen burst combination. So.
Yeah, so alright, looks like there is the Abduct. Torrey Sky's already taken extremely low. Solar Flare to root him in place, has the shield. Heavenly Agility is popped, but Mingyu able to pick up first blood here at LAN on towards Torrey Skies. 1-0 in the mid lane, still a bit of fighting. Swifty taken quite low, but he is Vulcan. He does have the backfire, and in the solo lane, KO is able to solo Kikyo Mio. Not something you say very often.
No, not at all. As we see, we've got the teleport does come out from KO, but we've got the horrific emblem on the side of Kiki. So interesting enough that the person with the aggressive relic actually falls in that solo lane early. So
yeah,
bit of an odd situation there. Kiki maybe just caught out by a bit of early burst.
So where does the burst come from in that, with just the death toll and the boots? Plus, I actually know I'm looking at the wrong person. It is teleport with death toll and warrior tarbai for KO.
So what I'm guessing has happened over there is that you ferret through the wave, you cripple and root the Bellona while she's still trying to clear. Sorry, just root the Bellona, no cripple on that one anymore, thankfully.
Yeah.
With the pin, but just probably caught in wave with the minion aggro and falls down to that extra damage just purely from taking it from minions. Minions do so much damage in the early game, but as we see, Torrey Sky's forced to ultimate here, trying to get away here. Does manage to get rooted in place. Cheetah's here as the Morrigan, picks up that kill on Torrey Skies and then dives further for Gal and puts some more poke onto him.
Yeah,
why not?
Cheetah. I mean, when you're the Morrigan, you just want to ult every single time. Like, as soon as you change, you want to use the entire kit. So sure, it maybe looked like he wasted his ult, but just for a little bit of damage, it's worth going in. But that's 2 kills now in the favor of Direwolves. So 1 on Ochita and 1 on Mingyu. That is not looking good here early for Kanga.
Yeah, not in that duo lane. So they're going to be relying heavily on KO and Envisionize here on the other side of the map to bring some pressure, relieve it from that duo lane so that they can get their Geb and Rama to the late game, where they do become those monsters. Rama's always been that late game carry. Geb shield, once you get it all the way up, is keeping someone alive for a very long time. So,
sure
not to mention his ultimate stunning in an AoE circle. It's pretty nice in a team fight. You can't complain with that.
And dealing that percent of current HP damage as well. So,
exactly.
Geb, such a strong support. So, Swift Wing here for Ochita as a second item.
Yeah, so
interesting he didn't finish the Book of Thoth first.
Yeah, I was expecting to finish the Book of Thoth. Using that as your movement speed item early is an interesting concept, not one that I've really familiar with, but even see a Swiftwing here on Envisionize in the jungle on the Nemesis. So we've already got 3 Swiftwings in the game, not on the players that I was expecting necessarily. On the supports, I understand, but interesting enough, a mid and a jungle already picking up Swiftwing.
Yeah, look at Kikiamiya's health already down to 30% just from KO. I mean, look at that trade. That's absolutely fantastic for KO. And he's got that Chalice of Healing as well. And soloed under the tower. KO, what was that?
Yeah, just manages to poke out Kiki and then finish him off with a dive. So beautiful work here from KO so far, really bullying Kiki in this lane. Maybe Bologna took a bigger hit than we expected, and up against an Erlang Shen is kind of struggling in this early game. Picks up a Swiftwing now to try and mitigate some of the gold lost from coming back to lane, but Kiki's on this Bologna is just getting destroyed by KO. He's only a level behind.
Yeah.
But that potentially can lead to 2 or 3 levels if it keeps happening. So
yeah, he needs to, like, he was trying to play safe. Obviously, he was taken down to 30% HP, went under the tower, but then he just got dove. So how do you play passively in that lane now?
You can't go up to the wave and clear. That's what's been happening by the look of things. And Bologna, you don't want to be losing gold under your tower. So Bologna's always traditionally been very strong in the laning phase with that bludgeon, being able to hit all of the creeps at once with that bludgeon attack. With the bludgeon basics, it's going to be difficult to adjust to that with the power decrease. We've got Ro over here to help him out. So KO manages to turtle form away there.
That's all you need. That's all you need. Just use that 3, knock him up, get away, get the shield as well. And KO is safe. So not a lot that the Direwolves can do here at the moment. There's 4 of them here at the Elementals. They're going to split it up. There's the Abduct onto Envisionize, stunned up as well. Uses that Bracer to get some heal back, some health back. Ultimate coming from Ro, jumping down onto Envisionize, takes him very low, and he is able to get the kill. KO has now rotated over it. Torri Skies is the target, extremely low. Abducted, pulled in, extremely low, and Ochita is finally able to pick up the kill onto him. KO used that ult, but now he can't fight because it's 3 versus 4. Hunters have started to rotate as well. So look at Galen. He moved to the mid lane, but now he's moving back. At the same time, Mingyu has started to pick up those Oracle Harpies, and he does finish them off. So he's farming a lot better than Galen because he's rotating across. His team's communicating that they've won the fight, and he just goes for the farm.
Yeah, so Direwolves take that fight 2 for nothing, and that'll help Kiki get back into this lane a little. Gets the 2 assists. Doesn't pick up any credit for the kills, but being there and being a presence, he uses Horrific Emblem that really helped lock down that team fight for them. Really strong play, really strong rotations out of Direwolves. Kanga just caught out a little bit, walking towards those elementals or mid camps, and in that channel against, you've got a Kamazots that's going to be dealing a lot of damage with that Bat Out of Hell ultimate, grouping up targets, as well as the lockdown from a Kepri, who had so much CC in that situation. That's where Kepri really shines, in those jungle laneways where everything's so tight. You don't have a lot of room to juke and to get around CC. So
the biggest model in the game. It's hard to dodge his Abduct. He used it twice in that entire fight, and he was able to get 2 kills. Well, follow up with 2 kills on his target.
So we've now got 5 Swiftwings. So the Swiftwing meta is definitely here.
It sure is.
So interestingly enough, we've got the Bukatoth now finished off and starting to stack up for a cheetah. Boots 2 as well. Everything else is fairly standard so far. KO already got that Gladiator shield online. Going to be a real monster in that lane. And going to expect Ro to keep showing his presence over there now. Now that they've kind of managed to get a pick on that side of the map. Wasn't on KO himself, but speaking of that, Envisionize manages to rotate over and pick up Kikiamiya, so the opposite actually happens. Envisionize reacts to that pressure, comes back over, shuts down Kiki yet again. So a 3rd death now for Direwolf solo laner.
Rose here as well, extremely low, but KO I don't think has anything to follow up, and no he doesn't, so Rose is taken Rose low, so I mean, this is absurd amounts of pressure coming from KO. No one can fight him. They've got to have at least 3 people there, because if there's only 2, Kiki doesn't have enough damage to help support Ro. And, I mean, the taunt will heal up KO, so he'll just stay through that fight. He'll stay alive, and he'll just 2v1 everyone.
Yep. Yeah, he's just going to be a monster with that defense already online. That cheap hybrid item provides a little bit of sustain as well as cooldown. So we've now got Brawler's Beat Stick completed on the side of Row here for Direwolves. So the Bracer of Undoing now for Nemesis going to be a little less effective in these team fights, as well as that Gladiator Shield, and the Ninetales Blessing is going to be doing less work with it. It comes to sustain and being able to kind of burst through these damage from Direwolves. But a cheater, the issue for me is the Gold Fury is up right now.
All Tory Skies plucked, and Mingyu will be able to pick up the kill there. So just a little bit of, I want to say miscommunication or overextending from Tory Skies, because maybe he did he have vision?
Lack of vision there, so they didn't have vision coming from mid lane. So they've copped a loss there. They get the oracles and get the vision over the Gold Fury, but they lose their support in exchange. So a bit of a rough time there so far for Geb, now 0-4 as Tory Skies. So the problem with Geb, great late game. Early game can be heavily punished, and Direwolves taking advantage of that so far. Sure
can. Look at KO, he just went in for a bit of poke onto Kiki at his blue buff, while two members were still at that fire into elemental area around that mid camp. So KO is absolutely fearless. Level 13, 2 levels up on Kiki. That's absurd.
Yeah, it's been a strong start from KO, the Kanga solo laner. So he's only a level behind now as Kiki, but low on mana. Bludgeon here. We see how much poke that KO can place onto Kiki just in this one lane exchange. So you add that up over 2 or 3 waves, and it's really, now that Kiki has defense, he's not taking as much, but still a lot of damage being sent his way, and harder for a Bologna to sustain than an Erlang Shen.
It sure is. I mean, especially when your wave clear is getting blocked, and then when you try to deal damage, he's already got that shield up, and that shield lasts for a very long time. So if you're not dealing damage to break that shield, you can't do anything. Or ultimate popped there in the duo lane. Like, Mingyu wanted to dive in on Galen, but it didn't work out. There's the abduct coming from Sporks, but it's missed. He's knocked up, huge damage. 2 ults, 3 ults spent to try to kill him, but look at that. Ochita just coming in from the side with the help of Ro, able to pick up a kill onto Swifty. They committed 3 ults to a support who can revive himself. Tory Skies is the next target. 2 bats out of hell. What are you going to do against that? The answer is absolutely nothing, because, I mean, that's insane. That's three hits per ult, 2 people, 6 hits.
Yeah, you're copping a lot of damage for free. You can't peel that damage.
Yeah.
If you try to peel it, you're actually doing more damage. It stacks on God hits. So
wow.
You need to separate. So really great play there from Direwolves. A little bit of tunnel vision, as you said, from Kanga. They committed to the support, and now Direwolves committing to the Gold Fury. Worth less global experience, but still a really strong pickup when you can get it for free, as they just do right now.
So the gold wasn't changed, it's just the experience, so that the level difference isn't too much, but you still get something from it. Looking at the graphs now, you can see it's 3.9k gold and a 3.7k XP difference. Direwolves showing why they were the first seed coming out of their group.
Yeah, certainly showing up strong so far this LAN. Really strong. You can see the way the graphs went there. They're slowly climbing. It's not as steep as it used to be, with a lot of games being out of control in an early game sense.
Yeah.
Now it is a steady increase. You see that big spike though as well with the Gold Fury being taken. Kiki getting a little bit of poke here onto KO, and Abduct. Sporks is here, so is Bro, taken very low.
He's got a heal.
Blessing popped here, but will the heal go off in time? No, Kiki gets credited with that kill.
Yeah, that is interesting. It took 3 to kill him, plus the support and 2 ults. No, just the 1 ult from Kiki, but they were able to shut him down. And I think looking at the graphs, it wouldn't be spiking as much if Kiki hadn't lost his lane.
Yeah, certainly, but my issue was I wanted a cheater to rotate over there. They pick up the Portal Demon now as well, so map control really swinging this in the favor of Direwolves. What I wanted to see happen was, as soon as the Gold Fury was taken off the map, whichever team managed to get it, I did want to see a cheater rotate over to that lane and help shut down KO, because while he didn't end up ultimate pop there on a cheater.
Yeah.
Might have been a misclick there from Sporks, but...
No, he totally meant it. He needed the move speed.
Yeah, no, he needed to back faster, you're right. But yeah, so as immediately they take the gold free off the mat, so they can't be punished for rotating over and taking down KO. A cheater didn't use the ultimate. It wasn't up at the time, I believe, when he rotated over, but being able to turn into a nemesis, how do you shut down a tank that's ahead? You grab a nemesis and you shred his protections and then you burst him down. So it'll be that's what I'm expecting to see as the game goes later. A cheater likely turning into the nemesis or possibly even the Vulcan if need be.
Look at Mingyu, he's level 16 to Galen's level 13 and to Tori Sky's level 12. He has 4 levels on the enemy support. This farming is crazy. Vision Eyes does get plucked down to half HP, but nothing going to come out of that. So already Direwolves, it's just their farming is so superior to Kanga. It's like there is going to be a fight coming out. Sporks does get the abduct. Tori Skies going for the Cataclysm, but he's extremely low. And that is Mingyu picking up the kill with the ticks. It looked like Ochita has turned into Kamazots and Vision Eyes at the back line. Behind his tier 2, Ro is able to pick up the kill there. Kiki Omiya as well, getting a kill onto Swifty. This is 3 kills in the fight. Galen up in the sky. Snipes coming out. 1, 2 will land. Will 3, yes, but it won't pick up a kill onto Kiki. And Sporks picking up a kill onto KO. That's not a sentence I thought I would say. The support killing the solo laner that won his lane. Got 3 kills in lane. But Direwolves, 12-3 now.
12-3, and KO didn't pop his shell there. Just choosing to keep the cooldown on that one. I think knew he was going to die either way. So smart realization from him to hold it for the next team fight. Kanga just kind of got picked apart one by one though by Direwolves' team fight. Really good target switching from Direwolves as they've always been known to do, but Kanga, they're lacking on vision a little, and they're just not being able to peel for each other. Tori Skies is falling early in the fights, so there's no Geb shield, there's no ultimate there either. And it's just been a really rough time so far in any team fight for Kanga, as it's 12-3 in the kills, and it's starting to get out of control for them.
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, look at Mingyu, level 17. Finish that executioner, going for the kin size now. He will finish those. 3-0-5, starting at Titan's Bane.
Most likely. Yeah, Titan's Bane, possibly a beat stick. There's not that much healing on the side of Kanga outside of Nemesis and Erling Shen. This is an item that I want to see. Spork's most recent item, Relic Dagger. I'm really keen on Relic Dagger being picked up, especially on supports who have those 2 team fight relics. It now takes 30 seconds off that cooldown.
And most of them are 100 seconds, right?
Exactly. So more team fights, more supporting as the role defines itself. It brings a lot of decent stats as well. It gives you some health, as well as some cooldown, I would believe, as well. So just an overall good item for supports. Now that auras are kind of falling out of favor, I'm expecting to see a lot more over the weekend. I wouldn't even mind seeing it on Kiki now that he has a shell and a horrific emblem as well. Just to bring down that the cooldown on those abilities is so strong. On those relics, sorry, is so strong. Yeah.
And it seems like this is the relic meta now. Everything's based around the relics, and I mean, sure, it's still the team comp. You got everything, your strategies, but it's, as you say, with the cooldowns, it's absolutely insane what the supports can do now.
Another Gold Fury goes to the side of Direwolves for free. Kanga unable to even get in there to contest. So the graphs say it all right now. Almost 12k experience, 11,000 gold. How did Kanga get back into this?
At this rate, Direwolves need to stuff up somehow because their team fighting is just a lot better. The team communication is on point, and Kanga just seem to be in disarray through their team, their comps and following up on each other. When they're getting attacked, they just disperse and no one can support anyone else on the team, whereas Direwolves, they're fighting, no one's ever alone.
Yeah, they're always there for each other, able to peel, whether it's peeling the damage from Envisioners, who's now being chased down by Ro, forced to ultimate to save himself and make Ro back off a little, but Ro's not really concerned. It's not going to keep him out of the fight for much longer. He's already ready to fight again. Tory Skies needs to be careful. He's in a bad spot.
Oh, that shield already burned through, forced to use that Cataclysm, and that'll be on cooldown for another 90 seconds. Massive pickup there for the Direwolves. They can now team fight comfortably. Did you see how fast they ripped through that shield as well? That he, being level 13, he might have it maxed out, but it's not enough to help.
Well, he doesn't have enough health online either for it to be really helpful. As Roman Victor comes out the ultimate there, Eagles Rally, as well as the cheaters up in the air, is bat out of hell. Chasing down Swifty is Ro. Gets picked up by Ro, gets the credit there. Envisionize also taken really low, and now Ro's up in the air. Kiki gets the credit on Envisionize. Some more damage being thrown the way of KO, taken extremely low. Manages to get a Geb shield to make sure he gets out alive, but Direwolves are going to turn to the Portal Demon and most likely back and come back for a Fire Giant.
Those ticks on that shield from Ro, absolutely insane amounts of damage. They will get that Portal Demon, and they will, okay, Astral Barrage coming from Galen. He wasn't going to get a kill with that.
He might have been trying to steal the Portal Demon, maybe just a little late on the timing. As a surrender comes from the side of Kanga, they want to get into the next game.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad thing to do. Sure, it's unexpected, and it's nice to play out the rest of the game, but when you're that far behind and when you, as I say multiple times, like that shield is getting ripped through, that's your support trying to help. He's forced to use his Cataclysm, and Direwolves just rip through everything. There's not a lot you can do, so you might as well surrender, freshen your mind, and go into the next game already and not tilted.
As long as they keep their morale up, then it's a good decision. Maybe that's what they're thinking. They don't want to just sit through and suffer a team fight after team fight loss. Start fresh, get a new team comp, or use that team comp a little bit more effectively. Use that lead that KO had in that side of on that side of the map to propel themselves into a better position. The issue for me was that duo lane, unable to get any pressure with a Geb and Rama early game. Not enough clear, and able to be punished really heavily, especially with a Kepri who just locks you in place to take free poke.
Yeah, and that's what they did. They locked down Tory Skies right at the start of the fight, of the game. They got the first blood, and then he rotated over and he got 2 plucks, resulted in 2 kills in that team fight by the mid camps towards speed. So just the supporting seems to be a lot stronger. Sporks knows exactly what he's doing, and Tory Skies, sure, he knows what he's doing. It's just getting shut down by the superior strategy and positioning of the Direwolves. Mingyu had a 4-level lead against the enemy support, 3-level lead against Galen in lane. So,
yeah,
I mean,
what do you do in that situation as a rally?
Exactly.
You're the late game hyper carry character, but you're not able to get to that late game because you've just got a Kononos breathing down your throat the entire duration of the game. From the start, where they've invaded red buff, Direwolves started at the enemy red buff, went straight to Oracles, and that really seemed to throw the plan off for Kanga. You saw them clear the wave and then head straight to Oracles, but they were already done, and then they were kind of like, oh, now where do we go?
Yeah.
Throwing off the enemy team's starting plan, really smart play from Direwolves, whether that's intentional, that's what their new jungle start, their new duo side